Let me get this all set up and we'll kind of get started. At any point during this, feel free to chat in the bottom corner and ask me questions. I'm going to try to go through and do a little bit of the web-based software, and then we can head over to the mobile app and I can show you guys a little bit more about that. Okay, let me screen share you guys to start. Okay, pull this guy over. Can you guys see that okay? Well, I guess if I have this screen share going, I can't really see your guys' chat. That's not helpful.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, good. Thank you. That's the larger one. Let's see if I can turn on chat. Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Okay, so basic rundown of Spectora is that we are a web-based software company that also has dedicated Apple and Android apps. We try to be as all-inclusive as possible while being sustainable. We've got the business tools of automated emails, online scheduling. The Atlantic City Conference, the Internachi one, we were on our feet and talking for like 14 hours a day. So if I'm coughing, it's the home inspector's fault. Okay, online scheduling, automated emails. We've got the agreements that can be signed. We've got a payment portal. Yeah. Let's start off with, this is our Johnny test account. So we've got some things preloaded in here. We'll start with our dashboard. This little area right here would display any inspections that you have scheduled for today. We have two different inspectors on this team, me and the test account. And so you can see how those would be displayed here. This map is a, hi Paul. This map is a display of, excuse me, a plugin. It's not really connected to any Google Maps or anything like that, but what it does do is you can click on it and show the driving directions, and when you have the app pulled up on your phone, when you click into the map function, it will take you to whatever map you like to get driving directions from. This top corner over here is your requests that I will talk about a little bit later with doing online scheduling and inspection requests form. Basically what it is you can choose whether or not someone you can absolutely confirm an inspection in your calendar, or if you want to be able to have them just requested and then you confirm that the fees and everything like that are doing well and are good for your business. So that's really up to you. Here is your online scheduler, and the kind of little tip and trick that everybody misses with this is if you actually click into a day, I double click on it, you can schedule out for time off. So we get a lot of tech support questions with whether or not you can schedule time off, and that's how you do it. You just double click, pretty easy. What else is down here? You've got your in-progress inspections, so you can see which ones you have not published yet. Just a little cheat. You can also click on all inspections and see all of your inspections. Sometimes it's silly giving demos because a lot of this is very intuitive, and so I'm just kind of reading the words off the screen. Support, tech, training center, all that kind of good stuff. Our training center, I'm working on expanding. It's a lot of articles. We also have a wonderful YouTube channel that Kevin, one of our co-founders, made with short little videos about, okay, just learn how to do your automated emails or longer demos. And we're Paul, can you mute your thing? I muted you. Too bad. Okay. So, yep, you can go to the training center. You can, I'm just going to mute you guys. Okay. there's a ton of articles and stuff in there. For the feature requests, we have a Trello board. We take a ton of pride in being inspector first and getting their feedback, and that's how we decide what will go next in the software. We're averaging about 2 new features every 2 weeks. Like right now, we are working on adding a second client. We had a lot of people requesting when an unmarried couple or something like that wants to book it, there wasn't a way to do 2 different clients, and that one is going to be rolled out in the next week or 2. Yeah, so we really take inspectors' feedback to heart. Okay, so we'll go quickly through the template editor, kind of the basis of starting everything off. It's easier if I go straight to the template center on this one. Oop. Okay, screen sharing is fighting me. So we can click into the template center. We have preloaded Ashi room by room, which is in Internachi commercial for 4 points. You guys can see this, right on mold, all that good stuff preloaded into here. Those do include the standards of practice. For Internachi specifically, we met with those guys up in Boulder, very convenient since we're located in Denver, and they helped us condense and modernize their standards of practice down, and so it wasn't taking up huge parts of your report. We also have some wonderful current Spectora inspectors who gave us their templates, and usually that's a good starting point for new inspectors regionally, because there's a lot of regional lingo that goes on. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the templates tab. Excuse me. Okay, so the basic rundown of this is we have 3 different columns. We've got sections, items, and comments. Now, a lot of you guys are coming over from different competitors of ours, and there is a way for you guys not to lose everything that you guys have. So if you can export your template from a competitor into an Excel spreadsheet, we can import it into Spectora, or you can, by clicking this import spreadsheet little area, and it will, to the best that you can with our 3 columns, because I know a lot of different companies use more than 3 columns, try to fit that in there so at least you have your own language in there. You can also clone from another template, and Home Inspector Pro and HomeGauge, we're beta testing this software translator to better kind of help go on. But the inspectors that we do have coming over, really, it's a good opportunity for them to cut down on their language, and it's very easy to get bogged down with a lot of defects and recommendations that you don't really use that much. So it's a good time to do a house cleaning, spring cleaning. Okay, so little tips and tricks for these guys. There's 2 different ways to get to the template settings. You can click on this little pencil right here, edit template settings, or you can click on these 3 little dots and click into template settings here. These are the settings for this specific template, not the overall templates if you have multiple templates in there. You can edit the name of it. You can do, friendly display report. The header text is the text that appears immediately below the picture that we pull from Zillow on our HTML and PDF cover pages. A lot of inspectors like to put in their header text stuff like, thank you for your business, here's the disclaimers, that kind of thing. And then you can also edit the summary header text that is only included in the PDF. In the HTML version, which we will get to pretty soon here, there is a summary button that you can click on, and it shows all the defects, observations, recommendations, sorted by section and then by maintenance item, recommended, safety hazard, and they're color-coded, which is very nice for agents and clients to be able to understand. But on the PDF version, there is a summary header page listing all the defects, and so this would be placed at the top of that. If we continue to go down, we've got in our display options, You can choose whether or not to include little colored bubbles at the top of your display that say, like, the item and how many items you inspected, how many safety hazards, and that really depends on the market, what you want to highlight, and what you would like to, I don't know, how sleek you want your report to be. You can choose your inspector signature here, whether or not to do standards of practice, the smart layout, and informational comments. For informational comments, some of them are much longer than others, and in order to have an option to cut down on white space, you can go in here and select this smart layout, and it will group shorter informational comments with, and then longer informational comments, and doing that cuts down on the white space instead of just, you know, clumps everywhere. So that's that. Item ratings. Over here, we've got, if you would like to use ratings or not. Ratings are our word for the buttons that go at the top of your report editor for inspected, non-inspected, not present, or deficient. Excuse me. And then some inspectors like to have a checklist of how many items they've displayed or not. It looks like this. Some have decided that makes it look clunky, and so they do not do it. Classic versus custom ratings in here. That's whether or not basically you would like to have the inspected, non-inspected, not present, observation deficient recommendation, if you would like that to be the buttons to be linked or not. And that translated means you could not have a deficiency without also having the inspected button there. We had a lot of inspectors requesting those buttons to be unlinked because, say that there's snow on the roof. Well, technically they didn't inspect it, but they can see some deficiencies in observation. So they wanted to put not inspected, but also a deficiency. So that would be the custom rating system. And in the custom rating system, you can also customize the words for inspected, non-inspected, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's really up to you and how, hi Ben, you would like to run it. The custom does have more clicks, but it's more customizable. The classic has less clicks. So it's all about your flow. You can default a status if you would like to inspected. We can go to defect categories over here. You can, not letting me scroll quickly. You can choose what that fourth button would like to be. We have it marked as observations right now, but it could be defects or recommendations. You can choose how many different categories you want for deficiencies, and those categories would be deferred maintenance or maintenance items, recommendation, safety hazard, and you can choose on a per template basis what you would like to include in the summary or not. I know a lot of markets only really want the safety hazards, and they don't want the maintenance items and recommendations in there. Trying to fly through this so we can get to the mobile. That's template sharing. Cool. So then you would press save all. Let's get out of here. Okay, if you hover over a section like that, you get these little icons. The pencil will take you into each section. You'll be able to see the standards of practice and edit them, like the little, what are they called, settings for the section. The paper will duplicate it. Often if you're in a room by room situation, you'll start off with a template like one bedroom, and then you can duplicate it, and then you don't have to recopy and re-enter everything. Or if you want to trash the whole section, go for it. So let's click into cooling, just for fun. I didn't plan it. And so now we have the preloaded items in here, and we can click into normal operating controls. Okay, so all right, that wasn't that exciting of a one. I kind of wanted one with informational comments. So let's see if this guy got it. There we go. Okay, so we can click into configuration. We've got the different answer choices on here. You can also set a default location. We tried to make the locations as close to your normal speaking, I don't know, the way you normally speak. So first floor, north kitchen is, or whatever it is. That's kind of a silly one for cooling, but you know what I mean. You can also manually type in right here. If there is something for this particular house that you want a location tag for it, but it's not in your preset buttons. And if you go into settings and then report tools, you can add buttons that you can customize on there. Okay, flying through. Default text, you can add it into there that whenever your informational item is active, will show up on your report, less typing. Limitations, self-explanatory, you guys get those. Observations, that's where you can change it to say defects or recommendations. We did focus groups of people to, of inspectors to figure out what are the most commonly used observations and defects, and we put the most commonly used ones in there. Now, we try to deliberately make it as minimalistic as possible while giving you guys the tools that you need so that you can add as you go with your own language. So if we click into observations, you can default to it being checked in this particular category. You can change what default category it's in. You can set the, excuse me, the recommendation for automatically recommends that whatever we're in like cooling or whatever, that you want it to be a handyman DIY and default location. You can edit the type of comments. Hi, J. Lewis. You can duplicate this if you would like to. You can move it to a different section. It works. Okay. It's super easy to add a new observational comment. You just click new, type it in, and then there it is. And I will show you how to do that on the mobile app as well here shortly. Okay, so this is kind of the basic template editor. Let's jump into, let's just go straight across the tabs. Why not? We've got our email automation, which is a super handy dandy tool. We can start with, our automated email system is designed to be all-inclusive. It starts with scheduling. It's good to note that when you click into the scheduling, you can select if you would like, when you book an inspection, it's go to a client's agent. If you would like, if it's rescheduled, to resend an email with the new information. You can click into the templates for the email. And these on the side are pieces of code called placeholders. And it shows up as this curly Q bracket little area. What that will do is when you book an inspection with the information, it will auto-populate into this email so that you guys do not have to go in and manually enter for every single person, every single email, and that's the same way it works in the agreements, and I'll show you where the agreements are in a little bit. So the way Spectora sends out our emails is we have a client agent portal, which I will show you in a little bit. And instead of having your inspection agreement be an attachment to the actual email, it is a link to this inspection portal that they can view. Don't want to start copying again. So it's not going when you, or as we get to report ready, which is this guy. When you attach an attachment like a termite report or something like that, it's not going to be an actual attachment onto an email. It's an attachment that shows up in the client agent portal. The most important emails are the booking one. The pre-inspection reminders, you can set up how many days ahead you would like, set up that email. It's fun and interesting to note that we can also send out text messages. The little asterisks on there that I would put is that these text messages come from a third-party system, not your own text number. So if you want the client or agent to be able to reply and text you back with any information, we recommend that in the template for the text message, you put, if you need to change anything or get a hold of me, here is my phone number. And then they can just click the phone number and send a message back to you. The most important email would be your report ready email. So I recommend that before you publish your first inspection with us, that you go in and really customize this. This is, all your hard work. So go in here and fix that. Oh, one thing to note is when you add a new placeholder, if you click it, it is going to show up at the bottom. That is not a bug. We deliberately did that because some people's cursors are different for different computers. So what you'll need to do is, like I just did, click the button over there and then copy and paste it to wherever you would like it to be. Yep, not a bug. Cool. So we're going back. And for those of you who have listened to Kevin and Michael talk about SEO and marketing, we do a monthly class. We participate in the new inspector class up at Internachi and at the Internachi Atlantic City Conference. They did a whole 2-hour marketing long talk about getting reviews. And one of the ways that is really the best way to get reviews is with these post-inspection automated emails. So if you click into them, we have inspectors who sends the emails out 1, 7, 21 days, a lot of good reminders, but excuse me, the best way to get a review is not to make your clients and agents have to click more than once. Like, I get annoyed with that too. So make sure that you are putting the link directly to your review, not to the review site. So instead of going to Capterra, put them directly to where they would leave a review for yourself. And you can also do that for text messages. This email setting, we get a lot of questions on tech support, which, by the way, I'm tech support. This little bubble in the bottom corner of the screen, click it and you can chat with me.
Yay, tech support.
Yay, tech support. So yeah, and Kevin and Mike are on there all the time, but yeah, it's mostly my domain. So we get a lot of questions about where the emails come from, whether or not it's your personal email or your company email, and you can change that through this point of contact. You can switch it from the inspector to the company or back and forth. You can choose to have a blind carbon copy of every single email that goes out sent to something. Some inspectors really like to have that confirmation on there, and they'll just create a folder in their own Gmail or whatever it is to sort it into there so that it's not clogging up their inbox. You can change the default header or create a custom header for your emails, make them look all professional with your logo. We make it pretty easy for you. Okay, next, contacts. You can, for a lot of people coming, God, you guys wore me out. A lot of people coming over from, ISN. You can export your contacts so that you are not losing them, and you can import them here as a CSV. You can, additionally, whenever you schedule a new inspection with Spectora, you can, or it automatically saves the agents and the clients in here so that you have them. It's pretty great. One less step for you guys to do. The metrics section, which is going to be getting some updates here soon, make it a little more for inspector and stuff like that. We're updating our business tools, and it's very exciting that we are doing that. But currently, it's referral sources, top agents, how many they do, that kind of stuff. It's kind of easy to miss the metrics section, and a lot of inspectors don't even know we have it. So there it is. Okay. All of these tabs are also accessible on your name drop-down menu. You can click into team, add new team members. It's worth noting that support staff, let's just click into it. I don't know why I'm not doing that. For both support staff and sub-inspectors, you can choose the permissions which they are allowed to have. So a lot of head inspectors like to turn off the ability for their sub-inspectors to edit the template, which is, They can do additions on a per report basis, but they couldn't screw up your template. So, yep, there's those guys, and you can do the same thing for support staff, and support staff are completely free, which is great. What else do we got in here? You can check on your subscriptions by clicking the subscriptions button. We don't have our test account signed up for one, so that's why there's nothing there. You can check on your payments in profile. This is where you can add your company logo, put websites in there. You can see your inspector information, add a video URL if you have a video of you inspecting the house, your service radius and service areas, which are pretty great. You can click on view public profile, and the URL for this can be sent out to agents. I know a lot of our people coming over from, I think it's Home Inspector Pro, I always get them confused. They have a dedicated app for their inspectors. We chose to dedicate our time to developing other parts of the software, instead of just doing it for individual agents and having an app on there to schedule. And we did that because on most modern devices, if you have your agents go to this URL, you can have them save this URL to their desktop on their phone or their computer, and then there's a dedicated app for it. So there's a little bit of a workaround, and like I said, we chose to try to get new releases and that kind of stuff out versus spending time making a whole new app. So yes, go to Save to Homepage, and now you've got your own little app for this. Okay, now let's go back. So we'll go into settings, and we're flying through here as fast as I can. All right, we'll start at the top. We've got setup services and fees. For every service that you wish to provide, you can set up a different service and fee. We'll click into residential inspection first. This is where you can set your default template for a particular service. In the inspection request form that we will get to shortly, you can also set a default template for just everything. But so this is on a per service basis. You can add the inspection agreement in here, your base cost, your duration. Let's see. Everybody is muted. Perfect. Okay. You can add modifiers in here of the age of the home, the square footage, the year it was built, and with additional fees and hours to help your scheduling in your invoices go a little bit smoother. You can also add add-ons on here. It is worth noting because a lot of our inspectors are wonderful and like to give military and law enforcement, senior, that kind of stuff discounts. All you have to do to get that to happen is put in negative value in this fees section. We currently can't do percentages like 20%. So if you did want to give that, just do the math. Yep. Or give a flat fee, $30 off. Okay, we'll go back out. So now we're in the inspection request form. Excuse me. And this is when they click in your profile, schedule an inspection. You can choose, this is where you can choose whether or not to have them be able to request an inspection or just straight up book it. And this is what they would see. You can select the default agreement, the default template for them, base price, base time, start, all that kind of stuff. You can add a note to client and kind of customize it. For this, receive an email for new inspection requests, that's on your end, like if you want that to be sent to your email versus just whenever you log in, you see the new stuff. Or you can do the same thing for text messages. We've got this inspection agreements area. And this inspection agreement we took from Internachi. You can go in and edit it as you wish. It's got the same placeholders as the automated emails. And so same thing, if you click the button, it's going to go to the bottom and then you copy paste it wherever you would like to go. It is worth noting that the agreements are populated from when the book this inspection is pressed. And so if you later go in and change the address, change the client, change the fees on the inspection details page, which we will get to very soon, you will need to delete the agreement and then re-add it. And what that will do is refresh all that auto population. We went through with Internachi's lawyers and confirmed that it is legally binding on our client agent portal for them to check and sign. So this takes a lot of it out of it, a lot of the work out of it. Additionally, we have it set up so that if your agreement is not signed, the client and agents cannot get access to your reports, which is pretty great. Okay, we'll go back out. For payments, you can set up payment processor. We currently partner with Stripe and Authorize.net. We are in the process of trying to figure out a partnership with Square and with PayPal. When we get to inspection details, I'll show you guys the workaround for how, if you don't want to use Stripe or Authorize, how to use your own payment portal but still not have a report be released until you are paid. So I'll show you that in a little bit. We've got some Canadians and New Zealanders, and we're starting to get some really awesome countries that are new to Spectora, so we use the currency there. Okay, report options. We're flying. In report tools, this is where you can customize your location tags. You can click into here and add a new location for group 1, 2, 3. Like I said, in normal speaking, we usually use 3 sections with first floor, southern dining room or something. And so that's why we have 3 categories right now. Excuse me. This is also where you can adjust the photo quality. Obviously, higher quality photos will take longer to upload and process on our servers and reports. A lot of inspectors usually have it somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4 or somewhere in there. So that they're good pictures, but they're not crazy big. You can enable cost estimator here. I get a lot of questions on tech support about whether or not the cost estimator can default to a certain number for stove repair or something like that. Unfortunately, right now, that answer is no. That is something we're looking into. So right now, it would just show up whenever you did a defect or an observation with a sliding bar, and so that you can select in this price range. So it's on a per defect basis. This is also where you can choose require completion to publish. A lot of our new inspectors like having that bar at the bottom that says 100% and getting the green check marks of I've completed every single informational item within the report, so that they're not, later thinking, oh crap, I forgot to see what brand the air conditioner was or something like that. But a lot of older inspectors, they know what they're doing and that kind of stuff, so they don't require completion to publish. Company settings, this is where you could do your social links, your subscriptions, your integrations. We have partnerships with all these guys to figure it out. ISN Wizard, we get a lot of tech support questions about things not pulling over from ISN. If you schedule something from ISN, usually the answer is click into your setup wizard and see if you have that specific type of inspection selected to be pulled over with template mapping. Yeah, and I can talk to you guys more in detail about ISN. I'm thinking about doing like a weekly chat like this to try to specifically talk about 1 or 2 little areas, and I'm sure ISN will come up many a times on that. With the recall check integration, you would still need the recall check app. What we do is the morning of the inspection, we send over your client data to that recall check app. And so you don't have to retype it, but you would still be using the recall check app, and we didn't integrate any further with that because they're doing pretty wonderful things with their transcription software for serial numbers, and don't add something to Spectora and muddle something up when they're doing a great job and it's pretty easy for you guys to use. Localization is just time zones. We've got user settings of navigation with the tabs at the top you can customize if you would like to see some of those or not see those. dashboard settings of when the workday begins, little stuff like that. Integrations, we currently, excuse me, integrate with iCal and Google. iCal is the Apple Calendar, and do it in there. I also get a lot of text support questions about how to change the email that is for your company, or how to change your email. Go into user options, change email. It's great. Also, if you'd like to be one of our beta test users, Tyler, our developer, just came out with a lightning fast template editor. If you enable beta features, you'll be able to then click into your template editor and try it out. But keep in mind that beta does mean that there's a lot of bugs. So when you ever see a bug, report it back to us so that we can figure it out. And his next big project is getting the report editor to be lightning fast, so that there's almost no response time between clicking and going to the next page. So it's pretty awesome. Okay, we're flying through still here. Now we're going to look at an actual inspection and go through the inspection details page, and then I will get onto the mobile device. So this, when you book an inspection, this is the portal that we have for you, the inspector, or for your support staff, called the inspection details page. To reschedule, excuse me, to reschedule an inspection, hover your cursor over the times here and click that, click the time. You can reschedule it. If you have the automated email set up to have a rescheduling email sent out, it will automatically trigger that. There is no extra click that you have to do. Same thing if you want to adjust the address, you can hover over that and click that little pencil. In this little area, you can add clients, add inspectors, you can add clients, agents, listing agents. Some of you guys were not on here earlier, but we're going to be adding several different, more additional people on there. It is worth noting that if we add a client's agent, I think I've got Kevin in here as an agent, yep. And then we save it, you can go in here and edit, maybe. Hey, we found a bug. Whatever. Okay, you click that edit button and you can add a transaction agent, or you can go into people and edit it, and have the transaction agent carbon copied on all of the emails. So, okay, I'll get to client agent view last in this. So you can, for like termite reports or radon reports, you can attach those PDFs as a report here. You can also add an attachment. Some states require a certification or certificates, there you go, of inspection. You can add that in here. Just to reiterate, these attachments do not go out as an actual email attachment. They just show up as a button in the client agent portal, separate from the report section, and they're viewable there. When you are done and ready to publish your inspection, you can hit publish all. This is where you can view the agreements, and like I was saying earlier, if you change something about the inspection, the fees, the address, anything like that, you will need to go in here and delete the agreement and then re-add a new one on here to get the fields to auto-populate again and have it all be updated. For fees and payments, you can always go in here. You can view the invoice by clicking this little button. You can go in here and edit. This is where I was talking about if you guys want to use PayPal or Stripe or something like that, and you still don't want the report to be released until you are paid, or say you get a check on site or something like that, you would need to click into the inspection details page and you can check this paid, that they got it. And the report will then be released. So that's your kind of workaround for making sure that you get paid before your report is released. We're gonna save that guy. Okay, so you can also, if you scroll all the way down, see all of the emails and text messages that have been sent out for this particular inspection and reports. Just a quick little reference guide for them. We can click into the client agent view over here. And this is, excuse me, like I said, the URL that gets sent out with the emails to be able to view the inspection agreements, get those signed for you guys. We don't have a payment processor set up for this test account. There would be a blue button right here that said pay here, and they'd be able to then enter their credit card number. Our agents really like how the agent pictures and everything are up on there, and that's how you get more referrals. So that's pretty great. You can also click on there and get the invoice for them to print out. Okay. On the report editor, you can either edit the report on the website here or on your mobile app, two things. If you click into edit reports, you can change, we pull this cover picture from Zillow. If you do not like it, or if there is not a picture of the house on Zillow, you can add your own, either on the mobile app or by clicking this little pencil here, and it will pull up all that good stuff. For this report that we have pulled up, we've got the item ratings turned on. You can have these turned off in custom ratings, or not custom ratings. You can just turn the item ratings off in your template settings. We can go into heating. We've got the sections, and then the items. A lot of our inspectors like to pull the Internachi graphics that they have on their website and add them in. You can do that, or add general pictures that are not observation or defects by adding a new informational section and calling it general pictures. You can choose for anything that you add to a report, either mobily or on this web, to save to template for future use. This single checkbox is saying, if I hit this informational comment, I'm saying, yes, it's turned on, we have that. Or if you don't hit it, that it's not there. Or you can select a multiple choice question. You can add a value for a number to be put in, or a text answer. That's used a lot for serial numbers, or a numeric range, if that is easier and better for you. So we can click save on this guy. Pull this guy over here. You can set up a location. You can add the default photos, default text in here to happen anytime. I'm going to cough again. Not enough cough drops in the world for this week. Okay, so we kind of got that. You can pull this guy out. Now, I am in the classics rating for this template. So now that I've hit inspected, I could click over here and go to observation. If you are in the custom ratings, everything will show up always, no matter what. So I would not have needed to click observation to have the observation show up. That's just your personal preference. So if we scroll down, you can check, okay, let's say a duct is leaking, check it. You can change maintenance item, recommendation, major safety. Add a location for it, add default text. You can do appliance repair, whatever it is. This is what our cost estimator looks like, and you can change that, or you can add a photo. For the desktop version, you can click and drag if you have a camera that is not compatible with a gallery on your mobile device and you wish to put in photos on your desktop, you can click and drag and make that easier. You're not having to press upload every single time. Okay, so then after you have created a report from the template, the template settings are saved. And so you would not be able to go back and change certain things, unfortunately, but you could change, if you click that little pencil, you can change the header text for this report, and you can change the display options for the counts summary, which are these little guys. And you can choose to have this items inspected or have that not in there. The inspector signature underneath your name on a per report basis. the standards of practice, underneath the tabs of overview, and like I was saying earlier, the smart layout comments, just categorize them by large and small in order to cut down on white noise, or white space, excuse me. Save here. So now if we click preview or publish, or if we were to go back out, maybe, work with me, little guy. One more. Try and get here, inspection details page. You can also click view right here. And this will take you to the HTML version of the report, which is a live URL. And what that means is even after you have hit publish, if you go in, if you go in and edit the report, you notice a typo or something like that, you can go in and edit the report, and without having to resend the email for it, the client and agent will be able to see your changes. What they see is everything except for these 3 buttons. And that makes sense. And if you do not trust me, use an incognito window of your browser and you will see that those go away. Yeah. Okay, so we've got our inspector, we've got our nice Zillow picture of a gas station. Let's go to the top here. I've got to pull, I don't know if you guys can actually see the video, what I just pulled to the side, whatever. So we've got agent tools over here. This is where you can pull, excuse me, the repair request form text. You can make it even easier on your agents by choosing the different categories on here if they only want to pull a major safety or something like that. In inspector tools, you can also make this, if you really, really like this report, you can make it your sample report, and what it will do is it will, oh gosh, I always struggle with this word, anonymize the address and the client's information and everything away so that it will then say 1234 Main Street and client's name and that kind of stuff. And so you're not giving away any client data, but you are being able to use the report and show off your hard work. Okay, so we have these guys selected for the summary. We have grid view, struggling. Okay, we've got grid view turned on for this. You can click into the informational comments here and they can see the standards of practice here. So it is more of an interactive report on the HTML. This is what a defect would look like. You can also see all of the defects by clicking into the summary here. And the summary is separated out by section and then by maintenance category, recommendation, safety hazard in there. And we also have the major safety button. Then you can click into this PDF button. You can either get just the summary for it or you can click into the full report. And we have this handy dandy little report. Again, our agents really, really love that their faces are on this. Great way to get referrals. We can scroll through the table of contents and this summary, oh, is it this one? Yeah, that one, sorry. This summary page is where you can add that summary header text that I was showing you in the templates. And I'm not really sure if you guys can see my little video chat with all of your guys' names on it. So, yep, this is what it would look like for that. Okay, I am going to stop this share and go back out. Thanks for the video, need to go. Okay, checking on that. I'm assuming this recording will be posted. Sean, I can post it. My demos here, including my coughing, are a little bit more crazy than Kevin's very nice demos. And so I would direct you to our YouTube page first before you go to this one. Although I will admit mine have a lot more personality. Okay. Yes, weekly for Zoom. Okay. Yep. And I will take recommendations for like ISN integration and topics. Okay. So now comes the scary part of me trying to share my screen mirroring with you for the app. Okay, so we're going to go to share screen. We're going to go to share via AirPlay. Okay, so now I go to screen mirroring and Zoom. And now you guys are looking at my phone. I've got it on Do Not Disturb for in case my mother texts, because that's a real thing in my life. Okay, so the mobile app, you can schedule inspections on it, and it's the report editor. So we'll start with the settings over here. Excuse me. You can enable the flashlight, which is the flash on your phone, if you have it and need it. You can enable the gallery camera, which, yeah, I mean, you guys can read that part. Live syncing. All right, I can do this. I can get through it. Okay, so at 3 a.m. the morning of your inspections, we build your reports from the template, not manually. We're asleep. It's the system. But so before you leave for the morning, I would recommend going on and making sure that the reports are downloaded onto your app, just like I just did with pressing that import button, or they should show up on your dashboard for your inspections for today, so that you know it's on there. After that is imported to your report, you do not need an internet connection in order to do your report editor, which is great for the more rural and spotty reception inspections. Excuse me. Okay, so the only thing that you would need internet for then would be the syncing back and forth between devices, which is great for multi-inspectors, or you can just turn it on if you would like automatic saving. So you can choose the sync frequency, which is how often you send the data on your device up to the cloud. So it depends on your battery life, how much you need this, want this, that kind of stuff. You can also choose on demand only, and that will select whenever you press the save button. Okay, so you can turn live syncing on or off. Now we are into photo settings with the backup photos gallery, save annotated. It is worth noting here, this auto annotates all. A lot of inspectors do not need to annotate informational pictures, just general pictures of things. So in order to limit the number of clicks that you do, you can turn it off and say, I only want the auto picture annotator to pop up for deficiencies. And that's just how many clicks you do and if you want to be able to annotate informational comments. So we'll select that for right now. And that's also the slidey bar for the quality of picture. And yes, slidey bar is a very technical term. Okay, so the way you can update your app here, and also the way we save data. When you are editing a report on your device, it gets saved to your device and to the app. When you press save on your device, it gets sent up to our server and saved on the cloud. Because the way apps work, if you have a lot of data within that app, it will run slower. If you are experiencing technical issues with either your app running slow or getting a white screen of death or something like that, it's a good bet that you have a lot of data stored on your app. What I would recommend doing is saving all of the inspections that you have done up to the server and then pressing this reset app memory button just to clear out what you have saved directly onto your device. Yeah, and make sure that it's already on the cloud first. And I mean, you can always access it later on your device by importing it back in, and then you'll get the server version back. Okay, we're scrolling up now. So this dashboard is the dashboard that will show the inspections that you have for today. You can click New, and you can schedule an inspection on here if you would like, and edit the fee, start time, agreement template, stuff like that. It's worth noting that in order to schedule an agreement on Spectora, you don't actually need any client information or anything like that. You just need the address and the zip code. So you could start with this and then add all that information later if you would like. Okay, we'll go out and we'll go to Save Inspections. So we were just recently at the Internachi Conference in Atlantic City, and I'm still in that demo test account for that. So we're going to click into one, mainly because people put a lot of defects and like stuff in there, so then I don't have to add it right now. It's easier for you guys to see. So this is the inspection details page for this particular inspection. If you were to click this map option, it would take you to your driving directions, whatever your phone is set up to do. You can see the client and the agent. We set up two different reports on here, one with custom rating and one with classic rating. I'm going to go with custom right now, but you can also select to hit the summary button, and a lot of inspectors like to show the summary to the client and agent if they are there on the inspection. Yeah, just kind of, it's a bit flashy and shows that what you did. Okay, so there's there. So if you have live syncing turned off, which currently I have it turned on, the save and sync buttons will just, will be a save to cloud button. The cheat sheet is, I actually don't know if you can see my cursor on here, I doubt it, but the cheat for it is that those little tiny clouds show which direction the data is being pushed or pulled. So saving to the cloud pushes it up, syncing pulls it down. So if you have a multi-inspector or you change something on the desktop and you want it to be reflected on your mobile, you need to sync and pull it down. And if you just want everything to be saved or to have somebody else be able to view your data and inspection, you press save and push it up to the cloud. In more options, you can press help and it takes you to our help support bubble, me. You can edit inspection details. Worth noting that this will then take you to the browser version because you need to be able to access that kind of stuff. You can view the report, you can publish it. We get a lot of tech support questions on photos not being saved properly and getting like black squares instead of the actual pictures that you took. Usually that means that there was a connectivity issue. You didn't have great reception when you were trying to save it. And so our system said, yes, I see that there's a picture there, but I can't upload it all the way. If you hit that force sync all data, it will take all of the information on your phone and push it up and replace anything that's on the desktop, so you'll be able to push all of those pictures back up. Delete from the device is just if you want to delete an individual report rather than resetting the entire app memory. I recommend doing that after you publish so you do not lose all of your data. Okay, so I'm going to click into custom and you can update the cover photo just like you could do on the desktop if you don't like that picture, or if you took a picture of the house that you really like there on site, you can redo it and put it right in there. We'll go into exterior for this. So these are all the sections that you had on your template. Click into exterior. We've got, oh, I forgot to change that. Okay, forgive this little thing. We showed someone how to change the buttons at the conference into your own order, which is something that you can do in the custom. And so they wanted to show deficiencies as the first button on this, so that's why they're out of order. So you can change the order of the buttons. So that the D is deficiencies and P is not present, and I is not inspected, and IN is inspected. If you choose in your template settings to turn off the item ratings, the little buttons will not be there, and it will just be the names of the items. So let's click into walkways, patios, and driveways. Excuse me. So you can click the button for what you would like to choose. Again, those buttons would be gone if you choose not to have items ratings. The informational comments. So if you have your require completion to publish enabled, you will need to go through and touch or interact with every single informational comment, and that's how you achieve 100%. You've completed everything. So in the informational comments, you can see driveway material, you select what it is. Let's say it's asphalt. You'll see that the driveway material now just turned green with a check mark, that I completed that informational comment. We can scroll down. You can add a new informational comment either up here at the top or by clicking new informational comment. You can enter a new title. Anything that you add to a report on the mobile, if you hit this button, you can choose to save the template for future use so that you do not have to keep on retyping it. And you can enter your comments in there if you would like to say sliding window is, or they have French doors or something like that, I guess, since it's informational. I don't know, I can speak of software, I can't speak home inspection. You're great. Okay, limitations, same thing. If you are unable to inspect for some reason or do that kind of stuff. Now we get into the observations. I'm not sure how many of you were on here earlier, but all of these were pulled from focus groups and from the standards of practice, kind of tips and that kind of stuff. So this is the minimalist, most common ones. So if you have a deficiency observation recommendation that you want to add, just hit that new button. You can save to future category. For this particular report, we only have recommendation and safety hazard enabled. Again, those are in your template settings, how many of these buttons you would like. Currently, we have up to 3. I believe in a release later this year, we are going to make that as many or as little as you would like. Oh, as little as you like. I guess right now you can turn it to 0. So you can do 0 through 3 right now. You can also select which professional you would like to address these defects. Okay, we'll go back. So now you click into it, and here's the super exciting part that saves our inspectors huge amounts of time. Our inspectors, excuse me, are usually finishing their inspections about 95% on site, and that extra 5% is proofreading and tinkering and stuff like that. We do have a lot of inspectors who just publish right on site and do it that moment, and they impress their clients a lot with that. But it really depends on your personality. And the thing that saves most inspectors so much time, and the biggest compliment that we get, is that our inspectors get their evenings back with their family, is this photo a tool that inserts it directly into your report. So if I click into photo, and this is our lovely conference room, and I take a picture, when I choose use photo, it will pull up this photo annotator where you can change the brightness, you can rotate it if you like. Now, you'll notice at the bottom that there's a little arrow and it's currently in blue. That means that I have an arrow selected. So if I go to, I'm just gonna swipe with my finger, I can create an arrow, which is pretty awesome and saves you a lot of time. If I click into square, I can do the same thing for circle, and that is pretty awesome. We also just added a line function, which is great for showing that tile's not in a line and there's a crack in the wall and that kind of stuff. You can also add comments in here. You can change the color of what you would like to do. So you've got the photo annotator immediately in there. And then when you hit the little check mark in the corner, it saves it directly into the report. You don't have to add it later. And that saves huge amounts of time. If there is, you can also click this button and it will toggle between the different categories. And then if you hit flag, it shows up with an orange flag instead of green check mark when you complete this section. And so you can be reminded whenever you view it later if there's something that you need to address in there. You can add your location tags by tapping that. So if we do first floor west bedroom and then save location, it will be in there. If there are multiple of this defect and you want to have little different things for them, you can copy it here. You can also take videos. It is worth noting that the video length that you can upload depends on how good the quality of it is. And that just, I mean, that's a standard thing with devices, is if it's a higher quality, it needs to be a shorter time and stuff like that. On the HTML report, you'll see the little circle with a triangle in it to press play. On the PDF, it will say video across it. If you have a camera with an SD card, I've been talking to inspectors a lot about this lately. For both Apple and Android, Amazon.com has these little tiny adapters where you can pull the SD card, say, out of your infrared, or if you like using a different camera or your drone, and you can plug it directly into your device, and it will upload those pictures into the gallery of your phone, which saves a ton of time, and you can do it on report as well, or on site as well. And by clicking the gallery button for either photo or video, you can add it into the report right there and do it. Showed you how to do a new observation. We've got that kind of stuff. If you click those three little dots at the beginning, you can edit the section name, you can reorder items, that kind of good stuff. I think that's the basic demo. So I'm going to stop this screen share so that I can get back out to the chat. And then, okay, for everyone that is currently on here, if you would like to tap into the chat bubble, do you guys have any questions that I can answer, either for the desktop or on the mobile? Or you can just unmute, since there's only 4 of you right now. And so you can just unmute your mic and talk and ask me a question if you would like. Nothing? Nobody? All right. So hit that green chat bubble on Spectora.com if you would like to chat with me or Michael or Kevin about tech support or anything like that. We've also got the YouTube channel of videos. I will see how ridiculous with coughing this one is. We are also doing a demo I'm also doing a demo at 3 p.m. Mountain Time today. And then I'll probably do another group one next week since this was kind of on the fly. What else? You can also email us at info@spectora.com or me directly at casey@spectora.com. C-A-S-E-Y, Irish Boys Way, means brave, very exciting. We've got a Facebook user group that I recognize a lot of your names from. And so go on to Spectora user group and they share templates, they give each other advice, they heckle in a very nice way. We actually have a great little community there. Glad you don't have any questions, Russ. Okay. Yep, I think you guys know how to get a hold of me. If you guys need any more questions, I hope you enjoyed this little demo. It was my very first one, just group one. But yeah, all right, I'll let you go, make some money and do all that kind of stuff, and feel free to reach out with any other questions that you have. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.